tour of the coast was actually Samara, which we live now. We're going to talk about that at the end just because we want to explain why we chose Samara. So after Samara, we headed further south down to Manuel Antonio.
Yeah, and Manuel Antonio was really nice. It has a very, very nice beach, very white sand, kind of more turquoisey water, just really, really nice place to hang out. The water was a bit more calm there too, so it was more swimming friendly. Also, there's lots of activities to do. There was parasailing, there was jet skiing, there was a thing called a zip coaster, which looked kind of cool. Also, the Manuel Antonio National Park, of course, is there. So that's cool. You can get like a good tour guide to take you through, and you can see so much different stuff. If you're lucky, you'll see a sloth.
We have 3-toe and 2-toe.
Oh, we know what those are.
You know what kind?
Sloth.
Muy bien. We're looking for a sloth.
We're very excited, hopefully, to see one.
Okay. High possibilities to see a sloth in this trail. There is many trees that they love to eat the leaves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Or sometimes a few. They have the little white-faced monkeys, and the whole park leads you to the beach. So that was lots of fun for us to do as a family. We really enjoyed that. There's lots of really, really nice hotels and restaurants there. The cool thing about Manuel Antonio is everything's actually it's built up on a hill. So you drive up the hill, and then you hit all these really, really cool different spots along the way, different restaurants. They have a really cool restaurant that we went to called El Avion, and it's up on the hill, and it's actually built into an old airplane. So that was really cool. We enjoyed going to that. It's cool how it's on a hill. Like I said, almost every place you go, whether it's a hotel or a restaurant there, has a view, like an awesome ocean view and the jungle all around and stuff. And we really enjoyed hanging out in that area.
Yeah, another thing I didn't write down too is because it is a tourist area, a lot of the workers at the hotels, like Sea Comino, all the guys there were really awesome. They're just super friendly. They're teaching us Spanish.
Yeah, great service.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, very awesome. If you guys are watching this video, because they do follow us on Facebook,
did a good job.
you left a mark for us as far as how great the service was in the area. Cons of Manuel Antonio. It's on a hill. That's definitely one of the cons. Everything's built up on the hill, so you got to take taxis everywhere. Even just to go to the one store from where we're staying, it was quite a trek up, and it was very narrow. There's not a lot of room from where you walk and where the cars
I forgot about that. Yeah, there was no sidewalks.
No. Yeah,
like you honestly felt like everywhere you walked, you were gonna get hit by a car or something like that. So not very safe. It would be nice if there was sidewalks.
Yeah,
for sure.
that was kind of crazy. So that was definitely a con because it's hard to get around without a taxi or a rental car. Bigger bugs. Yeah, the south has bigger bugs. Everyone's like, oh, Costa Rica's got crazy bugs. It seems like the further south you go, the crazier things get. Shayna had one spider that was probably like that big.
It was the size of my head, yeah.
I have a picture, I'll put it in right now. You can see its eyes are glowing.
It jumped at me.
Yeah, it jumped at her when she walked by.
It was not fun.
No, so we had to get one of the guys to come and chase it away or sweep it off. It wasn't poisonous. We found out after, but you don't know at the time. So
it's what's to be expected when you're in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You just got to take it with it, right? So
again, no community feel there either. It's all focused towards tourists with all the big hotels and all the restaurants and stuff like that. So again, no community feel. Quepos, the town was beside it. It felt busy for a small town. It felt like a city, even though it wasn't that big. Maybe because it's the only thing in that area as far as places to shop. And yeah, it would be expensive to live there. It seemed like any of the property that we did look at the realtors on their websites, it was very expensive, and it was outside of where you'd want to be. Especially with us having rentals, you want to be a little closer to where everything's going on, and be able to live on the same property. So yeah, it was expensive as far as that go, and it's expensive to visit. The hotels, because they are bigger hotels, the dining was more expensive. The hotel was more expensive.
The view probably had a lot to do with that too, right? Like you get what you pay for. It's the location and stuff, which we understand, but it was definitely more costly than any other places that we had been.
Yeah, so that's a con, but I mean, if you're planning on vacationing, it's definitely worth checking out. And it is far from the airport. What is it? It's probably I'd say four or 5 hours from the airport, from San Jose Airport. So it is a bit of a trek once you get into Costa Rica to get to Manuel Antonio. But again, well worth the trip down there. And there's some other little beaches and stuff around there that you can check out. Oh yeah, the day that we decided we were going to go check out Dominical and Uvita, because before we actually left Kelowna, we made the decision that we're going to go as far as Uvita. It's the whale tail. Our friends are actually living down there right now. And so we were like, okay, we'll rent a car, we'll go do that. And the day we go down there, I forgot to bring my wallet.
Where's my wallet? I ain't got it.
So we didn't see very much.
No, it wasn't until we actually got to Uvita that I realized my wallet wasn't there, and it was about an hour drive. So we just kind of drove through quickly, very spread out, very dusty, dirty. So that's kind of why we ruled it off. Plus, it is far from the airport as well. We wanted to be somewhere that's closer, just better for business. They have talked about putting one in, but who knows how many years that's going to take. And Dominical, it was definitely a little surf town. Beach was natural.
Very rocky.
Yeah, it was
more
like
rocks.
more of like it was almost like river rock or pebbles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But very long beach. It was a nice beach. Again, it was just not something we felt a strong passion for as far as living goes, and that's why we ended up going from there and coming back to Samara. First time we went to Samara was after Nosar, like I said, and we stayed here for 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days,
Yeah, when
something
we were
like that.
traveling through, yeah.
And then it was almost instant that we're like, hey, Samara is the place we want to live, but we told ourselves we'd continue traveling south.
Yeah,
and see the other places.
once we got to Manuel Antonio, even though it's beautiful and has a lot of great things to offer, we had a feeling already that Samara was going to be the place, just based on its first impressions that we had when we just stopped through on the way. But we wanted to make sure that there was nothing else that was better compared or checked off more of the boxes on our list, right? So, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we knew. Mm-hmm. We knew the minute we left.
As soon as we drove down into Samara and could see the beach at the end of the paved road. We were kind of like, okay, this is what we envisioned before we actually took off from Kelowna.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about all of the pros of why we chose to settle in Samara. Of course, there's a lot, and that's why we picked to live here. One of the main things we could honestly instantly feel was a very strong sense of community. This place is like no other place that we've been as far as that goes. There are tourists that come, there are expats that live here, there's locals that live here. To us, it's a perfect mix of all of that. But the sense of community and the things that everybody does together and how everybody takes care of each other, whether you're from a different part of the world or whether you've lived here for a year or 20 years or whether you were born and raised here, everyone's just very, very welcoming and they treat you like family. And if ever there's a situation where, say for example, it's rainy season and someone's house floods or a few people's house floods or there's something major, going on in town or anything like that, or people want to raise money for a fundraiser, everybody gets together, it becomes a really big thing and contributes to all this kind of stuff and takes part in that type of a community event. And also because it is such a strong community here and everybody kind of knows everybody and watches out for everybody, there's this huge, huge sense of safety. That was big for us, especially with young children. We feel that everywhere, even to this day, almost 2.5 years later of us living here, from day one, always safe. Mm-hmm. Everywhere we went, even at nighttime, we can walk around. Yeah,
it seems like if anything does happen in Samara, it's usually like petty theft stuff. It's people from outside of Samara and Torito and Manapalo and Carrillo and the area around here. But yeah, everyone kind of stands up for everyone here too, which is really nice to see. It doesn't matter if you're homeless, not that there's a lot of homeless people here, but whether you're down and out and having a rough day or you have a family that's got lots of money in the town or a lot of land and stuff like that, everyone's equal. Everyone just kind of treats each other in a good way.
So another pro to Samara is that the main downtown core, and even a little bit on the outskirts too, has really good pavement. It's got infrastructure. There's the odd little side road that, you know, is chewed up a little bit from rain and stuff like that. It's still paved, it's just not as smooth, but the main area is, it's walkable, it's got some sidewalks, there's more infrastructure that way, so it makes it easier to get around.
Yeah, and we did a walkthrough video. It'll pop up right here right now for you. If you want to watch that video, it'll open up another tab if you have tabs. Unless you're running Windows 97, you won't have that. But yeah, we just did the walkthrough video just to show you that the doctors are close in the middle of town.
Yeah, bank, markets,
yeah.
grocery store, all shopping, everything's in one walkable area.
So yeah, check that video out.
Samara has lots of good restaurants all over town, especially on the beach too. The beach is lined with lots of different places that you can sit and just enjoy and have a drink or something to eat or both. But definitely like tons of ethnic choices in the, like for a small beach town.
Yeah, we got like a lot of Italians in town, so you get the pizzas and the pastas and
There's some Asian.
yeah, there's a Thai restaurant, there's the sushi, there's actually a sushi place here.
Mexican.
Yeah,
there's
lots of Italian though. And then there's barbecue and stuff like that.
And there's a lot of Costa Rican, what's called sodas down here, which provides all the local types of Costa Rican foods, the traditional type, if you want to try that kind of stuff, which you should when you're here, definitely.
Yeah, we'll do a video on different types of restaurants in Samara. We just got to partner up with the restaurant owners, and we definitely want to go over the Costa Rican sodas and different menu items that you can get there that is traditionally Costa Rican.
There's lots of tourist type shopping. There's really, really good grocery stores, lots of little markets, fruit stands. The beach is very, very family friendly, swimming friendly, whether you have a baby or whether you're, you know, a 90-year-old and you want to go swim. Even at high tide, it's calm enough, you know, you don't get tossed around by the waves. There's no rip current or rip tide because we do have the reef, so the beach is protected that way. So it's good for surfing, but more like for learning and beginners that way. But we see a lot of professional surfers and people that are really good at surfing that are out there too. So
yeah, they're more having fun, I guess. They're not like, it's not being competitive as far as surfing goes.
It's just casual, more casual surfing.
But they'll just try like new things and they're just having a good time.
So one person did ask us how we engage with the people of Costa Rica and not get stuck in just like an expat bubble or with just other North Americans. It's always been important to us that we intermingle ourselves with the local culture and the local people. We partner in business with other local people around town. Every time we go somewhere, we always seem to be talking to somebody that's from here and lived here all their life. We've met a lot of people because Samara specifically does have a lot of local culture and people that have been here for many, many years, born and raised. Every time we go somewhere, we end up seeing them, and it's like, hey, and everyone's friends, and everybody stops and chats and stuff like that. So we do have a good mix of other expats that live here with children and stuff like that, other families, especially that we've met through the school, that we do spend time with and do things with. But also lots and lots of Costa Ricans too that we've met and just built relationships with and stuff. So we have a good balance between the two.
Yeah, that's another pro too, is it's not over touristy. You do get to mingle with the locals. Everyone's walking around and everybody's friendly, everybody says hi. So if you are a tourist coming into Samara, be prepared to have everybody saying hi to you and waving at you.
That's normal. That's just the normal thing here. Everybody does that.
We're driving somewhere yesterday on the quad, and I just happened to look over and there's a farmer working on his fence, and he just waves like everybody's just so friendly and just wants to invite everybody into Costa Rica and enjoy themselves while
and
visiting.
make you feel welcome too, and make you feel like you're part of the family.
Yeah, that's not just Samara. We've been to San Jose and everybody's welcoming there too. So it's just the culture of the people here. So
that's just another thing that makes us love it here so much, is just because there is that sense of peacefulness and happiness and wanting to meet other people that might not necessarily be from your country, right? So another huge advantage about living in Samara, especially for us as a family, is the awesome international school that our kids are going to. It was very important to us to find something that was accredited and also bilingual so that they can learn some Spanish, and a private school. So we found that, but we are going to address that in its own separate video for you guys in the future. Samara is very easy to get to and from the airport, thanks to new roads, nice smooth pavement all the way, so that's a huge plus as well. And also at the moment there's lots of opportunity for land and home purchases here. There's quite a bit of real estate available, and that's always a good thing to draw people to want to live here and stuff too, because the prices are a lot more reasonable than some of the other places that we had visited.
All right, so that was a long list of pros. Now for the cons, it's definitely not as long. I mean, nowhere's perfect, so we definitely have cons of living in Samara. One of those things is there's not a lot of extracurricular activities once you live here. Going to the beach, going to the pool is all fine, but it gets old after a while. I know if you're sitting there in
Yeah.
6 degrees Celsius or less
You're
weather,
thinking,
you're like,
why are you complaining? We're not complaining.
no, definitely not complaining, but it is nice to have some sort of mixture as far as different activities to do. Like there's no mini golf here, there's no like go-karts or anything like that.
Theaters, because it's
Theaters,
smaller.
yeah. So if anybody is watching this and is wanting to make the move down, Samara needs those things, so
Invest.
Yeah, invest. You just think you could be sitting there having a mini putt and enjoying the beach instead of sitting in your cubicle doing what you're doing now.
But it's if you're coming down here as a tourist and you're just traveling
Yeah.
and stuff, there's tons to do. There's so many different excursions, from like dolphin tours to quadding to zip lining and all sorts of different treks you can do. So yeah, as a tourist, just come in and maybe spending a week or two or even a month, there's a lot of options.
Yeah,
you can find things. It's just when you've been here for quite a while or a lot longer time, it just feels like you kind of
you need to go to San Jose and get a mall fix.
Yeah, you need to kind of just get out and go see some different areas and have different activities that you're not always used to.
Yeah, and there is a lot of different beaches to visit when you are here. So as a tourist, there is lots to do in Samara. It's just once you've done those things numerous times, it would be nice to have something else to do. And then there's not a lot of bay activities. What I mean by that is when you're in Manuel Antonio or Tamarindo, it seems like there's jet skiing and parasailing. I know a lot of the locals don't want that in the Bay of Samara, and I think that's why there isn't. I know our one contact, Ronnie, he does have jet skis. He has 2 of them that he rents out. But yeah, there is quadding and stuff like that. But yeah, it would just be nice if there was a little more
There's nothing
activity.
that's like, there's kayaking and surf lessons and that kind of stuff, surfing in general, but there's nothing else other than that's always consistently set up on the beach for you to just go and say, oh sure, I don't mind spending $60 today to go parasail on the back of a boat.
In beaches in Thailand, there was like jet skis set up on the beach. You just walk up and rent it, so there's nothing
where you
like
can
that.
just make that split decision to do it without having to necessarily plan or book ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of, be nice to have that. Lots of tourist shopping, but there's no shopping for us that live here. We have to go to Liberia, Nicoya, San Jose to buy clothes, sheets, having rentals, towels. So yeah, that's definitely a con. You got to travel to get that stuff. Having to shop at numerous grocery stores to get everything for dinner.
Like one recipe.
Yeah, one
Just
recipe.
one.
We usually have to make 3 or 4 stops because we go to the vegetable market, and we go to the butcher, and then we have to go to a couple different grocery stores to get those ingredients we need. Guana Verde, which is the closest place to Sea Casa Samara, has probably the best selection as far as groceries go. They don't have meat, but they do have a lot of imported goods, a lot of Asian ingredients, which we like. We do a lot of Asian cooking, so
It just seems like any time that we have looked at some of the other places for specific ingredients, if we can't find them there, we go to the Guana Verde market, which is just 5 minutes from us, as a 5-minute walk, and they always end up having what we need there. So it's a little bit more one-stop shopping at that place.
yeah. And then another con is, there is mostly paved roads here. Some of the paved roads have a lot of potholes. They did fix them up last year as far as around the outer loop. But yeah, the road to where we are can get pretty beat up in the rainy season, so that's another con here as well. So I don't think there's really any other cons that I can think of. No, it's a pretty good place. So you should come visit. Links below.
So in the next video, you're going to be able to meet our two boys, Jaden and Lakai, and you're going to get to hear all of their thoughts about how life is in Costa Rica for them, and also hear them talk about how much they love their school down here, and they'll give you some information on some of the things that they do there.
Alright, so thanks for watching this video, and thank you for your response on our first video. It was awesome to see everybody engaged, leaving comments, enjoying our video, even though it feels weird sitting here, just the two of us talking to a camera, answering your questions. So yeah, it was great to see everybody's positive response on that video. We're going to continue to do these videos as well. But yeah, come and visit us. Stay here at Sea Casa and in one of our beautiful and unique modern shipping containers. Just go to our website, seacasasamara.com, and all the information is there. Also, the links are below to Airbnb and VRBO, I believe I have down there as well. And thanks to our new patron, Tracy. She just signed up to be one of our Patreons, and also thanks to all of our other Patreon supporters. Just helps us in making these videos. The link is below, and I'll have it pop up right now. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Also turn on the notification, the little bell thing, and you will get notified when we have a new video pop up. We're going to try and do these every Sunday. If you forget that it's Sunday because you had a good Saturday, at least it'll remind you. And if you do like the video, leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down. If you didn't like a video, it just helps us know that we're going in the wrong direction. Not that it does anything, but yeah, we will see you in the next video. Ciao.
Ciao.